Today I'm joined by entrepreneur and content creator Leah Alexander. Known for her Real and Raw Leahlations podcast, Leah and I discuss the digital landscape, making your own rules, romance, and everything in between. I'm so excited to talk to you today, and I wanted to get started talking through the Leahlations series, but before we dug deep, I wanted to understand where your confidence comes from because Leahlations, if you guys are not familiar, honey, she's gonna get right to it and get you together, okay? And I personally love that. Like, I'm very direct, I'm very opinionated, outspoken. Have you always been that way, or is that something you grew into?
It's definitely something that I grew into. I definitely was one of those young women that had to learn to find my voice.
Okay.
Not that I never had it, I
Yeah,
just
it's just
wasn't allowed to embrace it when I was younger. So when I did get older, I definitely took it to the max. And now I'm kind of in a phase where I'm like balancing out the scales, but it is something that I grew into as far as my voice. Confidence has always been there.
yeah.
But I think as I mature and I get older, it comes from a more grounded place. I'll say that.
That type of confidence, assurance, and then being able to filter your thoughts in a way that you are able to be like, actually, I have things to say. I'm going to share them, and they're fact. I don't care.
Right.
That's something not a lot of people have. So I was curious, like, has she always been that way, or is that something that you know?
I think, like I said, it got stronger as I got older, as I got in environments where I was able to
Yeah,
express myself. But I have always had this sense of like moving to the beat of my own drum, like not caring if what I say rubs somebody the wrong way, if it's like true to me or my truth or what I think is the truth.
yeah,
Like I've always had that sort of edge to me. So that's just something that comes naturally to me, I
yeah,
guess you could say.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you
Mm.
deciding to do Leah was that something that was organic and kind of just came about, or were you like, I want to intentionally sit down and like put the girls on?
You know, okay, I have to think back because I've had relations since 2022, and it's crazy because
Wow.
time flies.
Yeah.
And, or no, maybe it was 2023 because
Okay.
I started the summer of my 22nd birthday. Yes. So
Yeah.
2023. When I started the Leahlations, it pretty much spun out of me doing TikToks and like getting on live and talking to the girls. Like I've just always enjoyed talking to the girls and
Yeah.
guiding them and like, for lack of a better words, correcting their course, so to speak.
I get
Like
that.
that really brings me joy.
Yeah.
So, and I also felt like I had a lot to say that other people weren't saying or too afraid
Yes. No,
to say.
that's real. That's real.
So I kind of just wanted to, one, create my own platform on YouTube, but I also really wanted to like teach and guide and like help the feminine collective. So
Yeah.
Leah came out of a place of wanting an outlet, but
Yeah.
also really wanting to contribute in
Yeah.
a meaningful way. That wasn't just like, because I was already influencing, for lack of better words, I was already modeling, I was already a familiar face on the
Yeah.
internet for sure. But I felt like all of that was very surface level and it only goes so far. And I'm a girl that's more about like depth and intimacy and like making real change.
Yeah,
So I
like
needed
often.
something that was like
Yeah.
real, that had depth to it. So that's where the Relations came about.
Okay. I love that. And I relate to that. I can agree with like influencing and content creation, I think can be an amazing outlet and something that all the girls we enjoy. We love to see a makeup video, we love seeing a day in the life, we love, hair tutorials and talking about the
Yeah.
girly stuff. But how
Mhm.
many of us need to do
I make a tutorial out. I
right?
make the
So
light
I get that.
out.
It's like,
Like,
okay, we all do the same phase at
yeah,
some
it's like,
point.
what are your thoughts like? What are your,
You know, and some girls
opinions?
they can't really take it there. And it's like that's fine, but I think for the girls who can, that's where you fill that gap. And I think it's
And
important.
everybody's not meant to be that girl, and that is okay. I
Exactly.
don't even mean that
Exactly.
girl in the sense of how everybody's trying to be that
Right.
girl,
The
it girl.
girl who has the mic in her hand and is commanding
Right,
attention and
right.
having certain conversations. I saw your initial like Leahlations videos and I remember being like, I love this because
Oh, I
at the
love
time
that.
I had just graduated my undergrad program and I'm like, I'm social media'd out. Like we is watch, rinse, repeat. I'm so tired of this. And coming from the Northeast, the way that I naturally can kind of just take it there, it
Hmm.
doesn't always translate well for people. Like it's a little too polarizing, you know?
Yeah,
And
I understand that because people think a lot of the time that I'm from like
the
New
Northeast,
York
yeah,
or the Northeast. And when I tell them I'm a Southern Barbie, they're
you know,
like,
it's different.
right? Like the way that you talk, the way that you carry yourself. But I just think it's just like I have this certain je ne sais quoi. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's conviction. It's
Yeah,
conviction.
exactly. It's conviction.
Yeah. And again, it's something because there's people in the Northeast who you have the conviction when you speak, you're not saying anything, but
But it's still said with some oomph.
oomph to it, right? So it's
Yeah.
like you have to differentiate someone who just is confident in what they're saying, but they're really not saying anything, or
Mm-hmm.
they're actually saying something. Let me listen. Let me,
Mm-hmm.
let me go ahead and tune in. And I think at the time, I was so over all of the things that were going on at the time. I'm like, I need to see someone do something different. And when you went and did that, I'm like, I love this. I love it. And so I've been a fan since. And
You.
even with me starting She Baad, that was, I'm like, what else can we do? Like, I'm just so tired of the same thing. I don't know. It gets to a point. It really does.
Does. It does. It gets to a point, and we're past that point, actually. We're
Light years
past.
away from the point. And I think it's also, you seem very mature. Obviously, we are grown women, but you can still be mature for your age. And I think a lot of our peers are still operating at about 22,
At 19.
23. Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but
Well, be. They're operating as
yeah.
teenagers, and
Yes, they are. And it's like, my love, we are grown adults. Also, the idea of what a woman looks like or being a grown adult looks like is very performative today, where I think in your identity online, we've seen a very natural progression into your womanhood, especially obviously you are in a relationship. So I think you navigating even that part of like balancing, yes, I'm a woman and I want to be feminine and I want to be soft and my man don't get it twisted, but I'm still Leah Alexander. Like I'm still
right.
me and the identity that you had prior to your public relationship. How do
Yes.
you navigate that on a day-to-day basis? Is that something that you are consciously doing, or is that just kind of natural to who you are?
That is something that, and I really appreciate you saying that, by
Yeah.
the way. That is something that I consciously do and navigate because, I mean, it's easy to, when you are so in love, you have a great partner. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean even like social media type love. I
No,
mean,
like real
real
life.
life
Yeah.
before the phones even came out type of love. When you have something like that, it's very easy to just get very wrapped up into y'all's world. But it's something that takes me conscious effort, but as time has gone on, it gets easier and easier and easier. My guiding light in that situation,
Yeah.
I hate to say it because people are gonna maybe have their opinions about this, but it's Beyonce.
Oh, no. Okay. I
It's
love that you
Beyonce,
said that. Yeah.
not because of their relationship, but because of the way she carries herself
Hmm.
in her marriage and her relationship, carries herself in her career, and how she's been able to maintain her own identity while still, to my knowledge, being a very devoted wife and
Right.
mother.
Yeah.
That's something that I admire. And it's just, it's something that I'm conscious of. It definitely takes mental balance. It
Yeah.
definitely does. But with the value system that I have and that I've adopted, it's become easier and easier and easier.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there's no coincidence that she's also a Southern woman from Houston.
I
So
hey, I
maybe
mean
it's something in the water out there. I don't know.
something that they're giving us, feeding us in the
Yeah.
school. I don't know. I
No,
don't
I
know.
love that. And honestly, yes, like Beyonce, their relationship, there are a lot of opinions.
I don't.
It,
I'm not
yeah. I'm
speaking on
not in,
speaking
yeah, I'm
on
not here for
her
that.
and the
But
way she operates with the
yes,
man
I
that
think that
she has
that's
going
an
on.
amazing example. And I've been in a relationship as well. You have to consciously think of I want to be me on top of I have someone around and I love that. I love him and I love my relationship, but I have to like put those blinders on because I don't know about you, but when I first was in my relationship, when I tell you friends, family, strangers on the street, it's just that man. And it's like, well, you didn't even ask me how I feel or how I'm doing. You're like,
Oh, they're
hey,
asking about the man.
how's he doing? He's not even here, but fine.
Um, I quickly redirect everything.
I'm good. And like as directors, I'm like, is he in the room? I don't think
Exactly.
so. I think it's me who's here. So maybe ask
Right.
about me. Or
Yeah.
like even just being pushed to do certain things, being pushed to, oh, you're gonna move in or you're gonna do. And it's like, well, maybe I don't want to do that. Is
Yeah,
that
maybe you don't, and that's
is
okay.
that okay? Like, is that
I
allowed, you guys?
personally, I personally have the standard, and every woman's standards are
That's so different.
different.
Yes.
But I personally have the standard to where I don't believe in living together before at least engagement.
Yeah.
Now, I was raised a little old school, very Southern, but
I
to
don't
my
really
own
know if
knowledge, my
that's
own study, I
yeah,
believe that that is the most beneficial to both parties involved
I
for
agree.
numerous reasons. But yeah, no, don't ever feel pressure to
No.
do
And it's
that.
one of those things where it wasn't until I was in a actual like where it's like, okay, I have you around the family. Like this is getting serious. Like, okay, you're my man, like,
Yeah.
until I was able to see like, no, you guys, the trad wife thing is yes, a trend on social media, but the women and the elders push that to you. Like the moment you are in a relationship that people are aware of and they've been able to observe and all of these things, and especially a good one. I think that's the
Mhm.
caveat here as well is when they see you being treated properly and the way you should
Mhm.
be, and
Yeah.
you're clearly happy, you both are clearly happy, people want to start to push, a ring and some babies, and it's like, hold on, let's hold the
You
presses.
know what's so funny? I really haven't had that pushed on me
Really?
by anyone in my real life,
Okay.
only online, which is so funny, isn't it?
Because
It's
online is the main group that is like
what
complete
we believe
opposite.
in.
Yeah. So how do
I
we?
think it's, I don't know what it is. I think. I don't really know. When I think about it, to put my finger on it, I think it's maybe some of the videos that I've made
Yeah.
where they're like, people see them as aspirational, like videos I've
Okay.
made featuring him or just about love in
Yeah.
general, that can be somewhat relatable. They find
Yeah.
that aspirational and they're like, somebody wished pregnancy on me, and I was like, wish
Oh
Mary
no.
first.
No, 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 no.
Like it was so funny, but my family and my friends, they're
Mhm.
very, very supportive.
Yeah.
They don't like push.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, I feel like nobody really plays with me in that way too.
Yeah. My immediate family knows better because it's
Yeah.
apparent like Kehlani is not, she's not that girl, that this is not.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
extended family, like if you're at an event and it's like, oh, how's he
Oh
doing?
yeah.
It's like,
He's
oh, no, no,
fine.
no. Let me let you know.
Like a little joke, small talk. I
Yeah, like those little jokes, small talk type of things. But if you are, no offense, but like a weaker minded person and you don't know what you really want out of life, you don't know what you want out of your relationship, and you're just like, oh, I'm
Mhm.
dating, and you're
Yeah.
constantly hearing this chirp, you're gonna listen
Yeah.
to the chirp, and it's like the chirp don't know what it's talking about.
Right. And then it's
You need to
them in a
silence
way.
the chirp and just do
Yeah,
what you're trying to do. But it was
exactly.
in that experience that I'm like, I can see how a lot of these girls now are just falling into this pipeline of shack up, make some babies, get the ring if you ever do, down the
You
line
know,
type of thing.
it's a crazy situation. I really think it's an epidemic. I feel like we're in an epidemic. It's concerning me, and it's so
Yeah, it
funny
is concerning. I'm not gonna lie.
that it is concerning me. And we talked about like what bred Leahlations, and you mentioned
Mhm.
something earlier about um the trad wife
Yeah.
dynamic and just like how young women are thinking these days and how they're getting the wrong influences and thoughts being put into their head and different things like that. And it's so funny because this is the first time I'm saying this on a public platform, but I'm actually now
Mhm.
working on a book where I discuss
I love
all
that.
these things.
Yeah.
Basically, like Leahlations on steroids, but
Yeah.
something people can always, always refer back to, pass along to future generations and different things like that because I see the gap. Kind of like
Yeah.
when I started Leahlations, I saw the gap of nobody actually saying what needed to be said, nobody actually
Yeah.
contributing in a meaningful way to the
Yeah.
girls. And I see the gap now of the girls falling into like trad wifery, wanting to be saved, or falling into misandry and just hating men all the way, or just wanting to be, for lack of better words, boss bitch on 10, which
On
is
steroids
wrong with on steroids.
with
Like,
no guidance though.
wrong with having some business about yourself. Every woman absolutely should, but too much, everything in moderation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like nothing to where they have to abandon themselves or abandon their other desires in life just because
Yeah.
they're trying to prove a point. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think a lot of women have to understand before you can, because the thing is too, these conversations are had in a very, I hate all men because a man did something to me and I don't like it, or I'm not enjoying the experience I'm having with men at the time. But at some point in life, you date men, you want a man, you want to be in a relationship with a man, you want a romantic partner who will
Mhm.
be a man. So at some point, you have to understand, stop focusing on the outside and look at yourself, pour into yourself. If you are
Yeah.
not in a position where you should probably be dating and you feel this triggered by social media, give yourself a break and like tap into real life. A lot of people do not know how to channel other energy and just put themselves in a different space mentally or even physically. Go into a new environment and just give yourself the chance to experience something different before
Yeah.
you're just consuming all this content around the same issue and it's not fixing anything. You're
Keeps
just
them
digging
stuck
a
in a
deeper
loop.
hole.
Yeah, it keeps them
Yeah.
stuck in a loop. I think that that's very valuable what you said about getting into a different environment because I myself, I feel qualified to speak on
Yeah, you
all the
moved
things
across
that
the
I speak
country.
on and just the book that I'm writing, all of the everything I'm pouring into it, it's actually based off of my experience. So like
Yeah.
even, like we said, like the overly bossed up persona, I was that girl at one
Yeah.
point. Like I was into that. Like that was who I was at one point. And I took myself, I was able to get out of that environment and get into a completely different environment where I was able to separate myself and kind of just look at my identity and see, okay, maybe this really isn't me. Maybe this was built from a state of self-protection, or maybe it was built as a defense mechanism, or maybe it was built from a spirit of inadequacy. Like
Yeah.
maybe it was built from so many different things because everybody has, their own thing.
Yeah.
But it's very, very important that even if it's like getting in a different environment as far as logging off of social media for a little while or
Yeah.
taking a digital detox or moving something as far as moving across the country like I did, I think it's very, very necessary because one of the biggest issues I think is that young women are in the place that they're in today because they're stuck in these echo chambers and these loops on social media that is warping
Yeah.
their real life perception and their real life human to human connection.
No, for sure.
It's completely throwing them
And
around.
a lot of people don't understand the algorithm will only push what you continue to interact with. So if all you interact with it's genuine brain rot, it's not helping you in any way.
Exactly.
You're just going to continue to rot your brain. Even like you said earlier, like social media detoxing, like getting off of social media and just kind of logging off. Just I'm not doing this. I had done that actually for my birthday. I was like, I don't want to be on social media at all. It's my birthday. Like, why
Yeah.
am I opening these apps? Like, what is there for me on these
Yeah.
apps?
Is it your birthday or is it their birthday?
Right. And so I was like, I'm not gonna open it. And it was the easiest thing. I literally was like, oh, okay. And it
Yeah.
was just like I got so much more of my time back as well because even if it's people who you enjoy, like even if it's creators who are your comfort creators and you're like, I want to see what they did this weekend or what recommendation they're making or whatever thing that they're talking about, it's like there's a time and place. Like you don't have to look at that all throughout the day. Like make
Yeah.
it entertainment. That's what it is. It's entertainment. You don't get entertained all day. You have to do other things.
Yeah.
And there's other forms of entertainment.
For sure. I definitely agree with that. And like me personally, I've told my audience this like plenty of times, but I'm not really on the apps like that anymore. Like I
Yeah.
don't have them on my phone. I just got to a point where I was like, realizing brain rot was going on. And I was like, okay, I have a choice. I can either continue going down this path
Yeah.
or I can take control and I can just delete the apps off my phone, not my accounts, because I'm still going to show
Yeah.
up um, and be consistent for my audience because I do have an audience. I do have
Yeah.
platforms that I feel dedicated to, devoted to.
Yeah.
But as far as my day to day, for the sake
Yeah.
of my mental health, for the sake of my clarity, for the sake of my peace, I don't have TikTok on my phone. I don't have Instagram on my
I love
phone.
that.
I only have YouTube, and I barely really get on that on my phone.
Yeah. No,
So,
I love that. I think that's a good way to regulate as well. Like, I
mhm.
know people have like the brick app that will log you out and like lock you out or whatever, but you can access that. You just like put a code, I think, in to
Yeah,
get
I've
access
tried
to it.
that. Not with Brick, but with
Mhm.
Apple's app limits
Oh, okay.
settings. I've done that. I used to hit like give me 15 more minutes every
Hmm.
15 minutes for like 2 hours straight. Like
Yeah,
it just gets to a point.
it
And what helped
does.
me was seeing like my screen times and how much time I was spending on the apps. And it was just like, it
Yeah.
was just like, no, no,
Yeah, it's
I
too
have my
much.
focus in the phone when
Yeah.
my focus can be in the real world, like in my life.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. And even like you're saying, so prior to doing the like no day at all on social media thing, I already was like, let me just like not wean off. It sounds crazy. We're addicted. It sounds crazy,
Hey,
but
yeah,
it's an
say what it is,
addiction.
'cause it is an addiction.
It
Like
it is.
oh,
And so,
that makes me think, not to cut you off.
no, you're fine.
Another thing that really, really, really helped me like let go of like needing to have it in my palm 24/7. Like I tried to give myself so many excuses like, how am I gonna post my story? Oh my gosh, everybody's gonna
Yeah.
stop watching my videos, like everybody's gonna unfollow me, like my audience is gonna hate me. All of these crazy thoughts.
Yeah. Paranoia, anxiety.
But because they make you feel like you need it, but it's because it's designed to be that way. I
It
actually
is.
watched a podcast about this was my turning point, and this was, I believe it was in March when I was either on the way to, either going to Malibu or I was on my way back from Malibu. I can't remember, but I was watching a podcast, Diary of a CEO, and he had on these two people. There was the author who wrote the book, The Anxious Generation, which
Okay.
is about how Instagram affected our generation's minds and development.
Yeah.
And there was a neuroscientist from Harvard,
Okay.
and they were discussing the effects of social media and how it was designed and everything. And when I tell you, I felt the ultimate disgust and contempt after I learned everything that I learned, I was like,
Yeah.
no, they're bamboozling the hell out of us, and we're just eating it up every single day. They literally designed social media to be so addictive. They based it off of like casinos in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
I saw I don't think I saw that exact clip you're referencing, but I have seen where it's pretty much like the dopamine hit that you get is the same. It's the same like with like fatty snacks, like cornflake snacks that are like the
Mhm.
puffs. Like think of like Cheetos and things like that. It's the same dopamine hit that happens when you chew on those snacks and you just keep wanting to eat them.
I could see
It's the
that.
same thing, especially because like with those snacks specifically, the mush doesn't translate to your brain that you're eating and being fulfilled. So as much chewing you're doing, it turns to mush with your saliva helping. So it's like all of these things, like when I saw that, I was like, I'm never eating this again. Like,
Yeah.
not that I do anyway, but it's like when you are at the movie theater and you randomly want like peanut M&Ms or something, it's like, okay, y'all
Yeah,
are
really.
trying to bamboozle me. I don't have time for
Yeah,
this.
you're trying to kill me, actually.
You're trying to get me, and
You're
I
trying to
don't have
put
time.
me in a box.
On your recent episode of Leahlations, you discuss pretty much the idea of stress being energy
Mm.
and how you can tap into that energy for your own benefit. I'm curious, like, what practices do you do on a consistent basis to tap into this energy that you talk about?
So it is, like I was saying in the video, it is a practice called energy transmutation. That's basically what the practice is called. And it's not, you don't ignore it at all. You acknowledge it and you just redirect it. So it will depend on the day, it will
Yeah.
depend on the situation, what I need. But an example, I'm trying to think of a situation. It's just highly It depends on a lot of things. Let's say that I was super
Yeah.
stressed because I had a lot of deadlines to meet with videos,
Yeah.
something like that, and I had a little bit of time on my hands. Then what I would do is channel that stress either into outsourcing help,
Okay.
or I would channel that stress into cutting out all distractions and like hunkering down for however much time I needed to get it
Mhm.
done. Or if it's stressing about something that I cannot control,
Right.
I would channel that stress into self-care. It's basically a form of alchemy. If you know what alchemy is, it's
Mhm.
mental alchemy. So, like, alchemy is basically the idea of transforming lead into gold. That's the whole thing about alchemy. But when you're doing mental alchemy, you're taking your lower vibrations, your lower thoughts, like of stress, worry, sadness, anxiety, anger,
Right.
all of those things, and you're transmuting it, you're changing it into something that is actually beneficial,
Yeah.
that nourishes you, that is productive, that is conducive,
Yeah.
that helps somebody else, different things like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is a good example.
Hmm.
A lot of my videos, people don't know this, but a lot of my videos, 2024,
Okay.
say like June 2024 to December of 2024,
Okay.
all they were for my audience, but they were really me talking to myself because I was going through a very stressful situation.
Yeah.
And instead of allowing myself to be down and out in a down
Yeah.
spiral, I would transmute that energy into my creations, and those ended up being my biggest videos ever.
I love
Like,
that.
I just redirected that energy
Yeah.
and in turn help myself
Yeah.
while helping thousands of other people.
Because it's coming from a real place and from a real experience.
For
So it's
sure.
something that if you are experiencing it, others are too. Even if they haven't yet, it's coming. It's on its way. So it's
Yeah.
something that is just relatable. And it's like a familiar feeling. When you see something, you're like, I haven't quite experienced that, but
Yeah.
it feels real because it is real. It's not just fluff content that you just were like, I'm going to talk about this. It's like,
No,
no,
it's like this is, I say it in Leahlations, like I live what I rap about. Very much
there's
so.
no rap cap.
Right? Like this is real. Like I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I'm
Yeah, no.
talking this because I know.
Kind of similar to how we were saying before with social media, this idea of like kind of losing life, like you're losing time
Mhm,
by just scrolling and being stuck in the bed or in the car, wherever you are on your phone. The
mhm.
optimization of life has kind of taken over as well. And I think we've lost a little bit what it's meant for, which is in your professional space, optimizing things to get more time back for your life. I'm
Right.
curious, what things do you do aside from working out or meal preps and things like that in your real life to optimize your time? What do you do professionally to optimize your time?
Well, I've recently just hired an editor.
Okay. That's a
That's
good use of time. That's a great use of time.
That's new, which is great because it usually takes me about like 3.5 hours to edit a video. It used to take me like 6 or 7 hours to
I
edit a
believe
video
it.
when I used to do like hour-long Leahlations
Mhm.
episodes. But that's something that I've done professionally to optimize my time. Getting a manager is something that I've done professionally to optimize my time because she does do a lot of my outreach because I
Mhm.
do a lot of ad placements in Leahlations, as I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
So she handles all of that communication. I don't have to handle any of that anymore. Besides those things, professionally speaking, that's pretty much it. I mean, as I expand, I'm sure I'll probably
Mhm.
enlist more help in ways that I don't know of right now, but that's what I do right now to optimize my time.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
those are good like ways to do it because you're not building so many systems that it's almost like the system is doing everything for you. You're still
Yeah,
in your process. It's
I'm an
just
active part of it. Yeah.
yeah, especially now with AI, so many people are losing their role in their own thing because the AI is writing the email, the AI is reading through the brief, the AI is creating the content ideas and the brainstorm. The AI is creating for you,
Yeah.
What do you do at that point? You're the talent for the computer, you know? And so I think we are in a space where people have to understand how to tap into these things, into the resources that we're given, but in a way that is actually beneficial to you. And you're not just teaching things or other people how to run your show, you know?
Right, for sure. It should definitely, especially when it comes to AI, all the artificial intelligence, it should definitely be used as a tool and trained as a tool,
Yes.
something that supplements you or complements you, but not to replace you.
Yeah.
And
No.
I think that that's where the lines get blurred and things get very murky. People start using AI to replace other real people, to replace their own sense of creativity.
Yeah.
It's very useful to structure, organize, or enhance somebody's own creativity, whether that's in the framework of, like, sometimes I use ChatGPT to organize my notes.
Right.
Leahlations episode. It gives me like bullet points on everything that I said, just so I'm not rambling.
Hmm.
But it's not giving me a script on the
Yeah.
episode of everything to say. Like that's
Not
where,
getting carried away.
yeah, that's where it gets a little crazy. That's where it gets a little crazy. Like there are boundaries for sure
Yeah.
that definitely need to be had. But as of right now, those are the only ways that I optimize in my professional life.
Yeah. Recently on Emma Greed's like book tour that she did, she discusses the idea of work-life balance really not existing for that level of success. And there's no such, pretty much she says to the effect of like, there's no such thing as work-life balance. You have to figure out what the priority is and what it is that you care more about in that moment. Like what is the thing to take care of. And I thought that was interesting just because we've been told for so long,
Like you can have it all.
you can have everything, work-life balance, work, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I agree with her to an extent. Like at some point when you are doing so many things, if
Something's gonna suffer.
something isn't being fulfilled the way that it probably needs to, and you have to be real about that. Do you agree in that sense that, yeah, in my own life, some things are just not gonna get handled the way that maybe a work-life balance person would? Or do you think you have found that balance within yourself to be like, no, I think I'm doing a pretty good job?
For me personally,
Mhm.
for me personally, I and I have to say that I feel that I have a pretty good work-life balance.
Mhm.
It is because a lot of external reasons. Like I am fortunate enough to be have platforms to where I don't have to work a lot to
Mhm.
earn a living and be able to support myself. And then on top of that, I have a very supportive partner.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a little different for me, and I can acknowledge that for sure.
Hmm.
But when it comes to what Emma Grady said, and it's crazy, I haven't watched that episode or like heard exactly what she
Yeah.
said,
Hmm.
but I have heard that she said that. And in my opinion, I agree with her
Yeah.
because I think that society has this way of selling everybody a dream, and they sell women this dream that you could have it all. You could be the most amazing mother, the most amazing wife, and the most amazing, you could own a $10 million business and you're going to be great at everything, and the kids are going to be perfect, and the relationship's never going to suffer, and it's going to be the greatest life ever, when that's just not realistic because everything requires care, everything requires attention, everything requires nurturing, time, and investment.
Yeah.
So it's like she said, you really have to pick what you want to give the most attention to. Now, it depends on every single woman. There's no one
Right.
correct path. And that's what I don't like about the you can have it all, because it's kind of setting women up for failure. And then they feel less than because they're comparing themselves to somebody who looks like they have it all. But behind closed doors or offline or off TV,
Yeah.
things may be falling apart in some area of their life and they're trying to pick up the pieces.
Yes.
I think that that's why, you know, every woman should make her own choices on what roles she wants to play in life and not define herself by doing it all or trying to do it all. Like, just pick what fulfills her,
Yeah.
that to the best of her ability. Like, I know for me personally, I want to be very active.
Yeah.
Home life, I know that when I have children, I want to be very available to them. I know that in my marriage, I want to be very intentional and very available, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. Like, there is a sacrifice there, especially whenever you are with somebody that is very successful or that has a lot going on. You don't sacrifice your own ambitions at all, but there are ways that you structure things and timelines to where one thing might take precedence over another.
No, it's definitely a give and take.
Yeah, it's a give and take, and it's not a bad thing. It depends on that woman, her goals. It depends on if she's in a relationship, her relationship, and their goals as a
Yeah.
couple and the type of life that they want to live. But it's definitely, there's definitely sacrifice involved. But when you are doing what you love and when you are content and happy and joyful about the choices that you have made,
Yeah.
the choices that you've made actually honor yourself, it doesn't feel like sacrifice,
Hmm.
especially when you're not comparing yourself to another woman and what she may be doing or what it looks like she may be doing. Like,
Yeah.
to Brady's point, you definitely can't have that level of success as a woman,
No.
have it all together at like home. Like, you're probably gonna miss like family dinners. You're gonna miss some family events. You might be late to a birthday party. You might forget it's your anniversary. Like, why do people think, like, we've seen these tropes in the media with men for so long.
Yes.
I don't know why women would think that they're like the
It would
exception
not
to
be.
that
Yes.
rule. Like, it's the same thing is going to happen to you because the balance is not there. Like, you're choosing
No.
to prioritize one thing. And if that's their choice, then it's like, okay, but understand what's going to come
What
with
that
it.
looks like and what that means.
Exactly.
I think,
Exactly.
like you're saying, the do it all. It's a setup.
Uh, it's a
Just like,
setup from hell.
yeah, just call it a thing. It's a setup because just from a very basic bare bone level, if you are a woman who's married and you have, let's just say, two children,
Mhm.
just from a societal standpoint, not saying this is what I believe, not saying this is what my life would look like, but the idea of you being wife and mother in society, that is president. And
Mhm.
so if you are saying, well, I'm more than wife and mother, I'm businesswoman, I'm lawyer, I'm doctor, I'm congresswoman, whoever, whatever title you hold outside of your home,
Mhm.
you have to understand now that you've had that title, then the other two are going to kind of, they're going to go to the wayside a bit because there's no way you can hold these positions and be able to show up in these ways that you want
Maybe not to the same
home
extent.
and be super
Possible.
mom,
Yeah,
super
yeah.
wife. It just there's no way because there's no super dad who's also killing it at the firm. Like, let's be, these are tropes that exist for a reason, but men have been able to do that because in society they're not expected to be at every doctor's appointment and know their kid's teacher's name
Right. But you
or
know
know
what?
the friend's best, the best friend's name. And so it's like you have to know if you want to do it all, you're gonna
Hmm.
be spread thin and have no time for yourself.
Yeah.
Or at some point you're doing it all, but some things are going to look less than perfect, and that's fine. But I think the doing it all kind of thing, people romanticize it and they don't understand where other things are kind of taking a loss. And someone who comes to mind when we think of this idea is a Kim Kardashian because we see so much of her life and she's very open about the fact that she has help, but she is also raising her children on her own. She's expressed where her and her co-parenting situation are post-divorce and all those things. But even with an example like that, I think people still don't comprehend. She has a team of people who are helping her. Her level of success is there not only from her own doing, but she has a team that has different roles and they do different things to help that life come about. But also, her children and her home life look very different than the average woman. We end up comparing ourselves to people who are in spaces that
But even in
they're
that
just
same breath, she doesn't
extreme.
do it all. It looks like she does it
People
all, but
will
she does
sit and say, if she can do it, it's almost like you have the same 24 hours of as Beyonce idea, and you
Yeah.
don't. And it's actually funny, I have a blog about this where I love Beyonce. I'm a fan. I would
Mhm.
never say nothing crazy about Beyonce. But to say I have the same 24 hours is not the same thing when I don't have a team who works for me professionally, who is going to follow my direction and go off and do something while I can then step over here and be maybe in mommy mode or in wife mode and handle this thing. Or I don't have an au pair who's going to take care of baby while I go and take a shower and get a
Yeah.
spa treatment. And you know what I'm saying? Like, just from those minor elements of her life, you don't have the same 24 hours, and that's fine. But you have to know that because then you give yourself these setups of expectations that are really
They're
hard and they're
unrealistic.
unrealistic. And it's okay to be unrealistic. It's okay to not be able to relate to someone's reality. It also reminds me from a content perspective, like even you being able to acknowledge, like, I do have help from my team that I've brought on. And I also have an amazing partner who is also helping me and supporting me in ways and allows for me to be able to have a work-life balance. So many people would hear you say that and be like, and it's like, well, no, that's the truth. And
Yeah, I mean, the truth
that's
is,
her reality. You can't be mad because
it's the truth.
that's her
Like,
life. Like,
at
goodness.
least I'm not lying about it. Like, we
And
do.
so many people would, though, like, so many people be like, um, I do everything. And it's like, if you
I
do, great.
totally
But if
do.
you don't, that's fine too. Like, I feel like we've gotten to a point where we don't want the truth. We want fantasy.
What makes us feel good. And I also think that it would be very beneficial to women for them to give themselves the permission to not need to do it all. Because like even in my situation, like I have a very great career, I have help in my career, I have a very helpful and amazing supportive partner. Like we have a maid, we've had a meal service.
Yeah.
Now I just have more time to cook and I enjoy cooking. Not because I'm out here trying to be like whatever. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be Betty Crocker and be like, oh, look at me, I cook and da da da. Like, no, I just
Betty
like to do
Crocker.
it. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe it's the cancer in me. I don't know. But I'm able to do those things because of the assistance and the help and the support
Yeah.
that I have in different areas of my life. And I understand that every woman doesn't have that. So for them to compare themselves even to me in what I do would be unfair to them.
Yeah, it's a disservice because you have to be realistic. It's like anything. If you have a fashion influencer who you love and you have a completely different body type, then either get the
Right,
pieces in the right size or in something that's flattering to you, but don't go and just mimic the outfit. It's
right. That's a
not
great
gonna work. It's
analogy.
not one size fits all. And
Right. Nothing about life is one size fits all. And I think that if everybody could recognize that, then everybody would be much, much, much
yes.
better
And
off.
like you said earlier in the conversation, you mentioned something of like every woman has their own standard. And so we both kind of have Beyonce as like she balances this femininity, but she's strong in these things. Even the way that shows up in our own relationships is going to look very different. Our life experiences are just different and our makeups are different. So if you are someone, like not you, but in general, like if you're someone who's like, I'm super feminine, and maybe you do lean toward what someone would consider as trad wife, right? But you're like, it's not a trad wife thing. I just like to do these things. This is what I want to do. This is how I show love. I think that's okay. I don't think that the way that we categorize women in relationships sometimes is so negative, but
Mm.
it's like, do you want her to be happy or not? Like, should she be
You
in a
know,
happy, loving relationship or should she look like she's
you know
struggling?
what I've realized about women through working with women, through observing women, is that when it comes to the masses, like the feminine collective, you're really damned if you do, damned if you don't in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like they'll either love you for being single or they'll love you and then they'll tear you down when you're in a relationship, or they'll love you when you're in a relationship, and then they'll tear you down and try to snatch up your man when you're
The
single.
pendulum swings, the
Like
goalpost moves.
the goalpost just constantly moves. So you have to be the type of person that's like, actually, fuck the goalpost. Like, I
You,
don't give
you.
a damn about what y'all have going on. Like, this is
Yes.
my life. These are my
Yeah.
standards, and this is how I want to live. And also, to your point about trad wife type of vibes, I think that a lot of women, I actually know that a lot
Yeah.
of women have a misperception about what a trad wife is. I actually watched a video of this person who went and interviewed three trad wives, and they have really hard lives. What a trad wife is basically somebody who's like making everything from
Yeah,
scratch,
no,
doesn't
like
work at all, who has no career identity of her own outside of like the family, the home, doing things like that. I don't
it's not
like
a soft life. It's
couple.
hard.
Yeah, it's not. I don't like
Yeah.
when people couple a woman maybe having a more leisurely life or cooking for her home, making food for her man, or just like
Yeah.
doing something of her own, having her own little business or career, but not being like a corporate ladder climber or like have this big, huge, big girl job. That
Mhm.
doesn't automatically make her a trad wife.
Yeah, that's also why, like, someone like me, I'm very, very private. Like, I've always been that way since I was a little girl. I just keep things close to the chest. And so, like you're saying, if you're single, you're getting applauded. If you're in a relationship, you're getting applauded. But then the next group is hating it. Like, it doesn't, you can't please anyone. And personally, like, most people who follow me on social media probably don't even know I'm in a relationship because it's just so much energy that I don't want. And when you're in a healthy relationship, it's like even worse. Because now, like you're saying, like people want you to get pregnant tomorrow, or it's like, y'all treating each other right. Y'all don't have no scandals going on. He ain't
Yeah.
having a baby on you. Like, it's like,
Yeah, man. You know, one thing I will say to you though, you
Mhm.
personally, like
Yeah,
since you're in a relationship and you're more, and it's definitely like be private, do whatever you want to do. But something that I had to get over, not saying
Mhm.
that this is you or your
Yeah.
mindset, but for me, because I was very like that in the beginning. I'd say like the first, I don't know, 9 months.
Mhm.
But I heard somebody say one time, I think I heard somebody say this, and then I just thought about it more, and I was like, wow. They were saying that they're not afraid to love out loud because they
Yeah.
don't fear. And I
Yeah.
was thinking to
I've
myself,
seen that.
huh, is that necessarily living in fear? If I, like, of course, don't have everybody in your
In your
bed with
business.
you,
Yeah.
but like,
Mhm.
I think about like our vanilla colored queens. I think about our white girls, and you know how white girls are. They will just post their man all day
No,
long,
they will.
family photos. Like they don't have that internal sense of like
Mhm.
fear. And I think that that's something that's, and I don't necessarily know why right
Yeah.
now. And maybe if I think about it hard enough and focus on it, I could
Yeah, if I
figure it out.
sat and thought, I probably could find the answer.
Right. But it's prevalent amongst the Black community to be
Mhm.
very like private, overly
And that's
private.
I think the important difference here too is private, not secret. So
Yes.
many
Yeah.
people, because if you follow me for the duration of my relationship, you've seen him. Like you know he
Yeah.
exists. Like it
You
ain't
know.
no
Yeah.
secret, yeah. But
Right.
it's
But it's
not.
not their whole identity.
Thank you. And so with me being someone who I don't even post like specifically like Instagram, right? I don't post often on Instagram. I don't interact. Like that's not even my space. So if the
Mhm.
one or two times that I am posted is me and my man, it's like, well, does she do anything else besides,
Yeah. People have
and it's like you
that.
have to kind of regulate that too, because it's like, that's not what I'm trying to give. Like it doesn't give that. But I
Mhm.
do think with relationships, people do have a scarcity mindset when
Yeah.
it comes
A
to their
lack
partners.
mindset. Yeah.
And I do not feel that. And I do think that's probably one of the main reasons why my relationship has worked as well as it has, is because we're both
Good.
aligned in the way that we're just very private people. Like nothing in me wants to share, if that makes sense, in an
Yeah.
unnecessary way.
Yeah.
and he's the same. So it works. You're not feeling away that you're not getting put on Instagram for Happy Boyfriend's
Yeah, I
Day.
can't believe that like really happens.
Yeah, like why is this really a conversation, you know? And I think it also matters the person you're with. Like if that's what your guy appreciates, he wants to have like these public displays of
Again,
affection.
it depends highly.
That
It's
makes more
not
sense.
one size fits all. Yeah.
Yeah, to close things out. What is
Okay.
next for you, not only as the Leah Alexander, but just you, Leah, as a woman in life? What is next in your to-do list? What do you want to get done?
Well, well.
Without having to tell your business, obviously, but
Right, right. Well, I intend, like I've said to you, I do turn 25 in a few weeks,
yeah.
and I'm very excited for that. I feel like it's gonna feel like a rebirth. 24 was very,
Yes.
it was very ex much expanding, stretching me beyond my limits, a lot of surrender, a lot of
Yes.
change, friendship breakups, moving across the country, leaving my comfort zone,
Transformative.
like thrown into so many things, very transformative. Like I want to get a tattoo that symbolizes his transformation. I don't know what yet, but I want to get a few actually.
Yeah.
'Cause it was just that intense.
Yeah.
But what's next for me is one, like I said, I'm working on the book.
Yes.
That is something I intend on
And that's
releasing.
something you're still in progress with, or do you
Yeah, I'm
have
still
like,
in progress
okay.
with it. I'm still in progress with it as we speak, working on it daily. That's been my project as of
Mhm.
lately, amongst me doing Leahlations and just continuing to live life,
Yeah.
show up for the people I love. But I intend on releasing that project within the next 6 to 9 months.
Okay. I
Yes.
will be on the lookout.
Oh, yes. I'll
I will
send
read.
you a copy. I would send you a copy.
Thank
I would
you.
really do that.
Yeah.
But
No, I
that,
love it'll be like self-help.
yeah, it'll be like
Yeah.
self-help, but it's going to be really cool because it's going to be a nonfiction book that's written as a fiction book.
Okay.
So I love self-help books. Like I've never really gotten into fiction, like
No,
post.
I'm self-help down. I can't help it.
I need to feel like I'm like gaining something from this,
I
but
don't want to just read, but I do think it's important to
for
have
sure.
that. I do think it's important. But if I'm gonna
Right.
read this book, I need to walk away with something.
Right, exactly. And I really, really, I think it's important that we exercise our imagination. And I personally love, I've read a couple books that
Mhm.
were nonfiction but written as fiction, and that's my favorite type of self-help book.
Mhm.
That was the inspiration behind writing it the way that it's going to be written. So it's loosely based off of moi,
Yeah.
obviously, but it's going to be digestible
Mhm.
by or for all of the girls, all of the
Don't
masses.
read the book and think y'all know her business. It's
Oh no, because
don't
these are
be trying to
definitely
read the book and be
fictional
nosy.
characters. These are definitely fictional characters, but there will be some.
Because you know how
It's
people
gonna be
get.
interesting. Yeah, people, girl, I don't even.
Don't get the book for Malice and Tim.
This is not a what
Tell
is
it
it,
all.
memoir or a
Yeah,
tell-all? No,
yeah,
it's
no,
not
this is
that.
not
It's
that.
not that. It's not the time for that. Maybe when I'm 65, I don't know.
Yeah,
Far down the line,
yeah.
but that's what's next career-wise. Kind of moving out of still going to be doing Leahlations in my
Yeah.
videos. I have my video diaries and vlogs channel. I want to get more into, I love doing my video diaries, so that will never stop.
Hmm.
But because I feel like it's like a real look into like
Yeah,
what the journey looks like
yeah,
growing from girl to woman without it just being advice, but like it's real transformation in real
yeah.
time and like me going through it in real
A
time. And I
peek
don't
into what that really,
a peek into the
really looks like.
process,
Yeah.
not just the finished result. So that'll keep going on. But as far as my personal life, things, things may be happening.
Yeah. We'll
Things
wait and see.
happening.
Yeah.
Things may be happening very, very, very soon. So nobody should be surprised at all.
Okay.
But
I love
like
how broad that is though, because that could be anything.
yeah, it could be anything. It's
Very
definitely not
excited.
I'm not pregnant. Let's just throw that out there.
I think based off the conversation, if you're paying attention, that was the last thing that
That
could
was
be getting announced.
hopefully,
Hopefully
hopefully we could hope that, but would that really be what they thought?
registered. I don't know.
I
We
don't
don't
know,
know.
but yeah, that's great things are coming in the personal life. Still going to be here in the New York, New Jersey area for the foreseeable future.
Are you enjoying it now? I know it was a bit of a transition initially, but
Now I am enjoying it. It's getting
okay.
hot as hell. Like it was
No, it's gonna get
cold,
hot.
but it's getting really hot. It's getting crazy.
It's
But
also a heat wave right now. So this is like, it's normally
oh,
not this hot right now. It's a heat
oh,
wave.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm enjoying it now. Just now starting to something that was a big transition for me was leaving like all my friends and family and being thrown into an environment to where I don't really have any close friends and no family. So I feel like now at the point that I'm at, I'm more open and receptive
Yeah.
to friendship and aligning with other like-minded individuals and women. So
Yeah.
I could see that developing now and in the near
Yeah.
future and things like that. But that's pretty much what's next for me, just working on this book. Beyond the book, I'm really not sure. I'm kind of me personally with all the identity changes and expansion. I'm exploring different avenues of things that I wanted to get into, which
Yeah.
is why I'm writing the book. Like I
Yeah.
just woke up one day and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna write a book. Like I'm gonna be an authoress. And
No,
so
I love that.
I'm doing it. But beyond that, I don't know what exactly I'll get into. We'll see. Maybe some in-person Leahlations events. That's been in the talks.
I think that would be amazing. I feel like you could do that. I think that would
Yeah,
sell out.
I'm in the process of planning one for this July, but I'm
Will it
having
be in New York?
yeah, in New York.
Okay.
I'm having a few hiccups with the venue I want to use, so it's like still in the talks,
Yeah.
but once I secure the venue, the ball is rolling because everything else is pretty
Okay.
much taken care of. So
Yeah.
doing some live Leahlations events. I want to move into different ways of communicating, working with
Yes.
women and getting my message out there beyond just YouTube
Yeah.
and do more in person. Like I
I
think
love
that would be
that.
very
I
nice.
think the from screen to real life thing does really, really well. Like,
Mm,
I feel like anytime I see any creator come from behind the camera and like go and engage with their
right.
audience, it's
Yeah.
just it's like next level. I think anytime they do that, it just shows like, okay, you're
You
here to
mean
stay.
this.
You mean this. You're not
You're
just
in it. This
yeah.
ain't you're not faking.
It's no playing, it's no game.
Yeah.
And I think their audience shows up because it's like, okay, you coming and creating content on your phone is one way to show up for your audience, but to be like, no, I'm gonna step out in real life and connect with you, I think that shows another level of dedication. And I feel like people are always rewarded really well for doing that and taking that next step. So
Yeah,
the
that's
event is able
something.
to happen and it's amazing.
Yeah, this summer, I'll invite you as well if you are close to the New York area. That
Yeah.
would be good if you could come.
Yes, hopefully I have a couple things end of July, but depending, I should be able to make it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll play
Yeah.
it by ear, but I'm very excited for that. I'm glad that you received that in a good way because you are one of the people that consumes the elation. So
Yeah.
if you're like, oh yeah, this would be great, I'm
No,
like,
I
oh,
think like you're tried and true, like die-hard
yeah.
Leahlations watchers. Because I'm not gonna lie and be like, I watch every episode. Like, no, but when it shows up and it pop, I think I'm subscribed to you. I should be subscribed. When it
Mm.
pops up, I sit and I watch and I, do my little chores and stuff, and I listen and what's going on. And because I watch any like videos like that, I will watch them almost like a podcast and kind of like do
Mm.
other things.
Yeah.
Um, but no, I think anyone who is like a consistent viewer will be like, oh my gosh, and
Yeah,
want to do that.
there.
Like, well,
Yeah,
they're gonna want to come.
for sure. New York is definitely my
And
number
that's the
one
best place to do it.
demographic,
Yeah.
right? So,
People love going outside.
right. So I'm just figuring out exactly how to do that, getting all that planned. But that's what's next for me, doing Leah Lations live events, doing releasing this book,
Yes,
and
big things.
continuing to, yeah, big things and
Yeah.
continuing to just heal myself and
Yeah, I think that's a big thing as well. Like the time that we're in, that 24 to 26, I think is just a whirlwind. So many things are happening very similar to you. I don't know if that's just the 24 thing, but 24,
call it the quarter life crisis.
yeah, 20, like the end of 23 going into 24 really was just like, I'm gonna rock your world. And I was like, okay. But it takes you through a transformation. Like me at 25, like I am just such in a good space mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everything, physically. Like
That,
who I am today versus who I was a year ago, she'd be
yeah.
like, "Ooh, girl, what?" Because it's like you really got to work on yourself. You really got to show up for yourself in those ways. So I'm just so happy to have had this conversation with you, and I wish
Thank
you all of the best. Thank you for coming on the pod.
you for having me and
Of
reaching.
course.
This is amazing.
Yes, of course.